Welcome to Brave Talks, a space for honest conversations, sharing truths and how to rebuild after cancer diagnosis. I'm very privileged to have my first guest in this journey, who's a very good friend and grew up together, and who's going to be the co-host of this show moving forward. So a big welcome to Philip. And so tell me a little bit more about, your growing up in terms of, growing up as kids as we did, but then after that, it was quite sport orientated. Did you stay in Pembrokeshire? What did you do as a background, a job?
Sport, obviously, like I say, football was a big part of my life. We loved growing up playing football.
Yeah. The little green we had.
The little square patch was probably, I think there's 2 houses on it now, just to fill the gap. But yeah, we'd be out there all day on a Sunday down the pitch. Gone at 10 in the morning, back at God knows what time before it was dark, covered in mud, waiting for our mum's made our Sunday dinners, waiting on the table.
I probably had about 3 Sunday dinners that day, actually.
Yeah, you'd be going around all the houses. But yeah, it was a great childhood, and just all the little games we used to play, the Kirby games and British Bulldogs and all them sort of things. Good family village it was.
It was indeed. So football then was going on. What did you like? Football was a big part of your life as well, right?
Yeah. So we went Tenby youth all the way through. Loved it with those boys, and then we had great Tenby team. Now all the youth teams are always very, very good teams. They produce some good players, a couple of good famous players actually. And then we've went on to senior football. Then I went on to play for Haverford.
That's a Welsh league team, right?
Welsh Premier League team. Yeah, it was. I think off and on about 10, 12 years with those.
Was that goal I've seen like 4,000 times you share from like
we'll try and tag
yards.
the goal onto this if we can. Not everyone's seen it, I don't think, around the world, so we'll make sure we tag that in.
Don't worry, we'll share that one.
Just for context, I scored 1 goal, I think, in 12 years.
It was some goal.
It was a goal of the season. I showed everyone it, but it's been blown up a bit more. It started off, I told people it was from 50 yards, but unfortunately the coverage come out and it was actually 30.
Oh, really?
I've always been fit and healthy, always looked after myself. Even up until the day of the diagnosis, I was, still fit and healthy, playing sport and eating quite well, I thought.
So tell me a little bit, Anne, about like, when did you first hear, about your diagnosis? Tell me the story leading up to the diagnosis. From your point of view.
Again, with the football, there's a bit of a running joke. I played all that sport, all them games. I never ever pulled a muscle even. I never ever got injured. There was nothing wrong with me.
Because you never used to run?
Yeah.
Well,
you don't really pull anything when you don't move. But I never used to get injured. A friend of mine used to say he wasn't born, he was built. And then I just... I can remember near the end of sort of the football crew of Haverford, I was fatiguing quite a lot, quite quickly. I remember coming back from to a pre-season training, and I couldn't get going. And
sorry, how old were you then?
That was 30, 34, I think. Okay. It was probably my last season, 34, 35, I think. I went to the doctors then and said, there's something wrong. I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease.
Okay.
Which was, didn't have a clue what it was. Not a clue. Never even heard of the word, really. I went and got, to be fair, I can remember before that, I was passing quite a lot of blood. And not really wanting anyone to know about it.
Sure.
Kept it to myself quite a long time, thinking, as I've always done, I think my body would heal it and I wouldn't have to deal with it. But it got worse and worse.
So how long did you keep that?
I kept it for about 6 months. 6 months.
Not telling a soul.
I'll tell you how it come out was, I was away on holiday with a group of mates, close friends, and they, as they do, messing about, they burst into the toilet as I was coming off the toilet, and they seen the blood in the toilet. And they were a bit shocked by it, and they sort of said, right, when we get back, you're going getting checked up. And that's when I got checked up, and then the words Crohn's disease was said to me then. That was about 4 or 5 years before cancer diagnosis.
So tell me a little bit about Crohn's. How did that impact your life then? Like, people who don't really know.
Just the fatigueness. Like, so
Okay.
the football, I actually stopped playing football. I had one year with my local, back at Tenby, then my local club. And I had 1 year with them, but yeah, it sort of stopped altogether in its tracks. I finished, playing competitively, and yeah, it was hard work, to be honest. It was my job is physical as well. I had a roofing business, so I was always out. It could have been a lot easier if I was sat in an office, next to the toilet. It was always that danger of, God, I need the toilet instantly, and it was real hard work.
So there were two big sort of symptoms in a way of just that fatigue, and then obviously the toilet aspect of that.
Yeah, they were the two big things. Okay. And then obviously what comes with it was, I was having the start off drug that everyone does, and it was sort of just, nothing really helped. Nothing helped. It sort of snowballed every year. It got worse and worse, to be honest. It was quite testing.
So you had that for 5 or 6 years before you ended up getting diagnosed.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you? So the diagnosis, how did that occur? Like having this disease and then moving into diagnosis. What made you go to the doctor?
Because I was having these infusions for the Crohn's disease, and they were trying me on different sort of infusions. Like they stick a needle in your arm and pump the drug in, and it'll settle it down, so to speak, what it's supposed to. And some of them were working, and they would last, and I'd be good for like 2 or 3 months.
Okay, for that long. Okay.
And then I'd say, oh, it's passed a bit now, it's not working. They try me another one. Some of them worked for like 6 months, and then I think in the last year or so, they were giving me these infusions, and I was just saying, there's something different. It's not working. It's everything's really it's heightened. It's really bad. Right. So they brought me in for tests, and I had a couple of colonoscopies. I think I'm saying that right. And then, believe it or not, I was on a scaffold on a roof, and I had a phone call from the hospital to say, you've got cancer, over the phone.
You got diagnosed on the roof?
Over the phone. So, okay. Luckily it was there's people around there, so I don't have to throw myself off the top.
So what did they diagnose you with at?
They just said, you've got cancer, bowel cancer that we could see, which ended up being bowel and colon.
Of stage 4, right?
It ended up being stage 4, yeah. It burst through the bowel. It was all quite shocking, really, how quick it come. But I think I can remember once I was told with the Crohn's disease, you are prevalent to cancer, and it can turn that quick, which it did, Okay.
So from having that first test, you getting that phone call on the roof, which was how like months or weeks?
It wasn't quick. It was probably about it's probably about a month or 2, I'd say.
Oh, wow, okay.
It wasn't something I was even thinking about cancer, to be honest.
You just thought it was an extension of what you got.
Yeah, I just thought they'd be phoning me up with something. We're going to try you with this drug now. They started debating with me about having my colon removed because of the Crohn's, and they said, if they have that, you'd have a stoma bag. So I had to go over and think about that, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know about that." It's a big thing. Is there any other drugs we can try? But that was left like that, and then, like I say, that was the last conversation I think I had with them, until the next one was actually it's a bit more than that. Now you've got cancer.
Wow.
So it's everything sort of. It's amazing those words when they get said to you. It's you never think it. It's like. I don't know. It's everywhere at the moment. Unfortunately, it's a horrible disease, and the rates are rising rapidly.
Yeah.
But you don't ever believe it'll be said to you. You don't.
So was it just at that time? Like, did you ever, telling you got cancer on the phone, like working on a roof, for example, like? How do you feel? Like I look disbelief
at the time when I just got off the roof. My business partner at the time, I said, "Can you take me home?" I told him straight away. I said because he'd sort of see me in work the past few years not being well with the Crohn's. So he sort of was up to date with it all, and he had to be really, because I had to, I'd be on a job and just disappearing, and he's gone to the toilet, you know. But so I sort of said to him,
skiving again.
Yeah. Sort of said to him, I've just been told I've got cancer. And he said, and he's like, what, on the phone? I was like, yes, mad. So, but I didn't really look back. Now I look back and I sort of think, God, how crazy for him to not bring me. I was actually working in Haverford, about 5-minute walk from the hospital. I could have just, if
he wasn't doing my hospital route.
No, he should have said, where are you? I said, I'm just looking at you now through the window. Have you got anything to say? But yeah, it was crazy when you look back that I don't know, do they do that? Is the NHS, are they that,
to obviously.
Unfortunately, is it that bad that they have to go around calling people now with this sort of information where,
So it's leading to you first told, away from obviously a business partner,
my partner, Laura, I got home and I told her, I think it's the people you see close to you, like to see it on my face, the shock probably. So I couldn't sit there at home and not say to her. And then,
did it feel surreal? Like going through when I got told, like my own diagnosis at the time, and I wasn't on the phone; it was with a nurse. But at that feeling, I felt like I was this very surreal moment, and she wasn't talking to me. I felt. Yeah. How did for you?
It did when I told my parents, which was the worst. Yeah.
Sorry. It's okay, bud. Take your time.
Yeah. Telling my parents, you feel like you let them down a bit. Yeah, sort of out of your hands, and obviously you can't do anything about it. But yeah, I just felt. I think I actually wrote about it after. I couldn't imagine watching my kids go through cancer.
Yeah,
put them through it. It was. I felt just guilty for them.
So you had a guilt coming out of you for others rather than
myself. And then obviously I just did the worry then, and the financial worries. My daughter's 8 or 9 at the time. The other one's like 14 or 15, and you worry about leaving them behind, and that's the first thing you think. But telling the parents was a big thing, and I can remember them saying it was funny. They said, "Oh," which people do. They say, "Oh, I wish it was us. We could take it from you." And I can remember my first comment was, "I don't, because you're old and frail." Well, they're not old and frail. Actually, they're quite fit and healthy.
Your mum will kill you.
Yeah, I said, I'll deal with this. I know I'll deal with it. I was so headstrong that I beat it. I think I was different to you. In your recent videos saying that you didn't really want to tell anyone, you kept it to yourself. Where I think it's because I'm still in the environment of Tenby. My best friends are my school friends that I've known since I was a kid. Yeah, and it was. I had arguments. They were all arguing who was going to take me to hospital every day. It's because I had 6 weeks of radiotherapy. So I was up and down to Swansea every day, and I had everyone arguing who was going to take me. They all wanted to do something for me. It was amazing, and that makes you feel like 20 feet tall. Having that, so that gets you through a lot.
So when you when you obviously telling your parents and obviously your partner Laura and all that time, from having your first treatment, what was that timeline? How did that look for you? And
I think they sort of set out a plan, don't they? What's going to happen? And the first plan was I had a date which was about 8-9 weeks after the diagnosis to say you're going to have 6 weeks of radiotherapy and chemotherapy in a tablet form. This is amazing as well. I still can't get over this. The tablet form, it was 7,000 milligrams a day. So I don't take paracetamols. I never. If I have a headache, I just sort of drink water and get rid of it. But I think paracetamols are 50 milligrams a day or something like that. And when they told me, 7,000 milligrams a day of these toxic tablets, I was thinking, Yeah, they were coming in these bags. My partner had to put, they were advised to put gloves on to pass them to me. Wow. So I was like, and I'm throwing like these all these milligrams down my throat. I was like a rattle.
How long did you have to do that for?
I did that through, so I had 6 weeks of the radio, 6 with the chemo tablets alongside it. And then they wanted to, because it was such aggressive cancer, they wanted to hit me full bore. And as soon as I finished the radiotherapy, I think, I'm right in saying, it's not medical, but I think you can only have radiotherapy once in your life, and it's for 6 weeks.
Okay.
So once that's finished, you're done with that.
Right.
And then the second part was they called it the double chemo, which was I had to go in every 2 weeks to the hospital, sit there for 8 hours with a drip into my arm, as well as the tablets. I think they upped the dose then to about 7,500 as well. But the first part, I got through it. I was quite good. I felt okay, but yeah, it hit me the second lot. I was, it must have been hard for my family and all to see me. Yeah. Because I was, especially Laura, where my partner, where she was living with it every day and seeing me. She sort of, the second part, I can remember dribbling in my food, like crawling, proper crawling to the bed, up the stairs and all, it was
Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was hit me hard the second lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I was supposed to start the radio on, I think it was on a Thursday or something, and I'd already booked tickets for Harry Styles with my girls in Cardiff. So I phoned the doctors and I said, can I start it the day after? Oh, why? What's wrong? And I said, well, I'm going to watch Harry Styles. I forgot to explain I'm going with my daughters. You
must have thought you're mad.
Yeah, so he's like, well, and I'm like, well, actually, I'm taking my daughters there. We're going to be going through a lot. And it's like, oh, yeah, of course you can. So, yeah, that's the first one. I think come back, did Cardiff with Harry Styles. And then on the way back, I had my first radiotherapy session, yeah.
And was there at a time, was it just do that? And then was there ever operations? Because I know we'll talk about it in a minute, but was it a case of just see what happens there, and then, or was it already you're going to have operations as well, or with these tumours, or like
the plan? I was told was like I say, they had to hit me with as much as they could, as in medicine, because of the amount of tumours, the aggressive nature of it.
How many tumours did you have?
It was 9.
9 tumours.
Yeah, and then like I say, I think 2 would burst through the bowel, which made it stage 4 on the colon. So I was, they actually said it wasn't looking very good. And the first point of call was they need to at least shrink some of these and get rid of them, just to get me on the operating table. Okay. They sort of hit me with all they could. And the advice was if they got me on the operating table, that's a
big success.
That's a win. Wow. So that went on, like I said, the double stages of chemo, and we're going about the diets and all. I started. It was obviously a big contribution from yourself, having you just going through it before me. I was just about to say, luckily you went through cancer before me.
As we sit here now, as a Billy Boner.
Thanks for that, yeah, that's probably not the right
So
way.
what stage, where was you then, in, like, reaching out to me at a time, like we had a chat, like where was you?
I hadn't started
You hadn't started the chemo.
That was the bit where I got diagnosed with cancer. It must have got to you, and you must have called me and said, try these diets and all. There's a bit of research in online to have a look at, which I did. Yeah. That I had the 8 weeks before I started the first initial. I think it was about 8 weeks before
radiotherapy.
Before radiotherapy and chemo, before the treatment started. And I think I go back. We discussed it earlier. I was saying about so the diet was like the keto-based diet with fasting. I was looking back, funny enough, with all the text messages back and forth to me and you, and I was going like, it was like a sugar-free maple syrup, and I was texting you, what about this one?
I remember that. I think you showed me something from Greg's or something like that. It was like
the vegan, there's all sorts of stuff. I was like, it was all processed meats. But I haven't got sugar in. It's got just loads of chemicals in it. Just getting used to it. I was.
I think maybe you showed me a Coke Zero.
Yeah. But it was, there's obviously a lot to learn and a lot to take in. But I think the biggest thing was was the fact that I stuck with it. I was so disciplined, unbelievably disciplined, to be honest. I didn't really drop a single thing. I didn't have any sugar, not even any of the fructose, the fruits and all.
Yeah.
Maybe the sourdough, maybe that, because you did write I could have it, but you put the amount. I didn't stick to the amount. I just said, I'll have that. That loaf a day. But it must have helped me. I speaking to Sam, and obviously this is going to come on a bit, about, we were saying about, because we went through the chemo and people coming up to us and saying, "Oh, how are you feeling after you started and all?" And Sam, because obviously we've been off the sugar and our diets were probably amazing compared to what we
and the fasting as well you're doing.
And we were like, I feel great. That's the best I've ever felt. The poison's in the bloody sugar, obviously not in the grunt. In the what's it called? I got lost it then.
So obviously a big part of, as well as obviously the medical aspect and the journey you had on that, but so you just touched upon is the diet and the fasting, where you feel big parts, in line with obviously the medical aspect, big parts of, helping you through this in terms of your,
I think it gives you, it's not just that, obviously it is prevalent. The diet is a major thing, but it gives you a good focus. Otherwise you'll sit there, because you are very alone when you get cancer. And even though all the people want to help, but it gives you, every spare second in your head, you will think the word cancer, or you'll see it on the telly, it's everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you've got this sort of diet to stick to, I just studied everything about the diets I could be doing and the health kicks
for sure
while I was suffering from the disease. So it just gives you good focus.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think just going down that rabbit hole of information can, I always say no matter what someone has and what their journey is, even if it's something else, not cancer, if it's a different cardiovascular disease or whatever it may be, or people are struggling with obesity, just generally being healthier, right? Eating better, being more active, being more, more resilient mind, having a mentality of being more positive. These are all things that I feel are a bit lost on who I've spoke to after my own journey and going down a rabbit hole, and obviously yourself and Sam and others that we've, come across in terms of who've been struggling their own journey. Surely that's a positive thing that everyone should, be healthier. Yeah. And I think in the society we sort of forget really a little bit about that, and no matter if it's cancer or no cancer.
I'm a big believer. Obviously, I grew up thinking I was fit and healthy, which I was. My diet, my mum would have been making me home cooked food meals all the time. They would have been good and healthy, but it would have been the snacking and it's the bits in between. I look back and I think, maybe I shouldn't have had that whole bag of hobnobs every night with one sitting of tea, Sure. And I look at it now, it's, that those things, it was a bit, people can have weak knees and I've never had pulled muscles or bad knee, but I had obviously a weak stomach, and then I've attacked it with these diets, which have only got worse with modern foods and things like that, and that's why the rates in boys my age for this sort of disease are going through the roof, because, we could just press a button, our pizza will be at the door in 2 minutes.
For sure.
It's out there. The evidence is out there, surely.
Yeah. And obviously, I was about you telling me previously about, because you already gone down that rabbit hole about just being healthier from a diet perspective and what you eat. I remember you going to speaking to the doctor, right? Or the nurse of a doctor, and the nurse is like, don't worry about it. Go the weekend, just have a pint, get your mind off it. Or, doctor saying, not really advocating for a healthier lifestyle and from a food perspective. Is that?
They were. It was. I was going in again, going back to my partner watching me sort of. Obviously, I'd have been losing weight and looking maybe a bit weaker before I'd even started the treatment, and then so it goes back to when we were kids, when you were young, innit? You have a Lucozade and a bag of grapes, don't you? Which would have been the worst thing in the world for what we're trying to achieve, with the diet. So, it's sort of when I'm sort of going in, and my partner watching me sticking by it and trusted in the process of the diet, even though I was looking weaker and more vulnerable towards the operation. And then I'd go into the hospital and sort of discuss it, and they'd be dead against it, really. They'd be saying, you know, so no, you've got to just keep living your life the way you were. And I'm thinking, like, well, this is why I'm
just
in this.
Just keep eating what you're doing. And
yeah, this is why I'm here in it, because I've not looked after you know, I've probably damaged my insides with, it could be pot luck. Obviously, cancer,
Sure.
you can just pick anyone at any moment. But, you know, just the rates of cancer in boys of like bowel and colon and all, it's got to be something to do with the modern foods. And like I said, it was just strange to me how they wouldn't just, you know, oh, what are you doing? All right, well, I'm going to cut out my sugar. I'm going to stop, you know, any alcohol or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to, you know, I'm going to eat all this sort of good foods, and they don't just say, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Sure.
It was just like, oh no, just, you know, I think they were more thinking about the mental aspect, or if you start changing now and you're not having a donut, and you might be unhappy then changing your diet, but you know, I felt, even though I was, you know, a lot lighter and weaker, I felt stronger. You feel stronger mentally because you're a bit more clear-headed.
Yeah, it's true. Fasting as well, right?
Yeah.
So I'm the same as like, so when I was in my hospital for my first operation, lying in a bed, I couldn't move, and I didn't know much, and I wasn't down a rabbit hole of information and knowledge and understanding, and just, you know, what of alternative ways, holistic ways, of what I can, you know, recover and get better. You know, they're serving me apple crumble and custard, and at the time, you know, I was loving it.
I was going to say, not that stuff you grew up on.
Exactly. But I just like look back now and just go like, what is going on? Like this is, without going too much about, you know, and you know, I was in NHS, the same as you in UK in Wales, but it just feels a little bit wrong.
I feel sorry for them. I don't think it's the nurses and the doctors.
No, for sure.
It's just the system.
Exactly.
It's these poor, you know, last year, obviously, after some bad operations after the cancer, I had to spend a couple of months in hospital. Like, you know, you get speaking to the nurses and all, and they're saying, you know, they're doing like 80% paperwork now and 20% caring. They just can't. It's not productive. You know, it's the system's all wrong. It's the people at the top that need to be looked at.
And especially the rates are going through the roof. It just feels like, you know, how many? Your date you were in? You got diagnosed in
May 2023.
Was it okay? Yeah, and I was like 21, 22. So it was like, even so now things have probably not got the better. It's got worse, if anything, like coverage, and it just seems like how, you know, so much people are in need of something. But are they getting the support? And I suppose it goes to me like talking about a little bit. What support did you have at that time? You know, whether it's family support, whether it's obviously from a hospital or from, just talk to me a little bit about the support aspect to handle this.
Yeah, as far as obviously the doctors, it's all the medical side is it is what it is. It's medicine and and you know, trying to keep you comfortable, I suppose, when you're going through it all. And then obviously, like I said, I had a big close knit family and friends around me, you know, helping me out and keeping me level and keeping me strong. But as far as I think this is where you know, the Brave Roots will be good, is because of, if I didn't have you, and there was another girl as well that I went to school with that had, so you would obviously, your cancer wasn't the same as mine, but there was a girl that had a similar cancer to mine just before as well.
Oh, from Pembrokeshire, from the area. Oh, you went to school with?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was, you know, between you and her, it was brilliant. Just because obviously doctors and nurses, they give you the message, but they've not had it. They've not dealt with these, you know, they're not at home dealing with these diseases, you know, they just know how to sort of cure them. But if I had... so
you didn't have any other support? There wasn't any support you could tap into?
No, other than, I think, you know, with Macmillan, they were good, but it was only financial support. There wasn't... Funny enough, our friend, it was weird to me that he said it actually, not weird to me, but a friend of ours said about straight away when I got diagnosed and all that, he said, you know, do you want me to sort out some counselling for you? Straight away. And he's known me since, you know, for years and years. And I just thought, oh, God, I don't know. Do I? I don't think I do. I'm sure I don't. You know, I'm sort of the type of person that will deal with things. And
at what stage was this?
This was
after the operation?
No, this was before the operation. This is when I was going through. Whether he's seen someone go through it before or the after effects of it, and maybe he just knew me and just thought I would bottle it all in,
just ask,
and get them just bow on through it, you know, and maybe he just knew me. But I look at things like that, That was never really mentioned to me by the medical professions. You know, do you need any,
counselling and talk to someone, and Macmillan wasn't that as well, right?
And they don't know me as a person, so
of course,
you'd think, I don't know, but some people could hear the news and it would just deplete them completely, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah, for sure. So where else did you get your resilience from? Like, because I know you going through this process. Like, I respect I have from you from going from stage 4 to like how you were. And I wasn't all around because obviously I lived away, but just knowing the resilience you showed, like, where did you get that from? Is that just, you feel,
I think,
just in you, and
it's
is it because you're kids? Like, you felt like
it's another thing with what I went through. So whenever I was, I had to go to the hospital for any news or any results or things like that, I'd only take my dad.
Okay.
I wouldn't take anyone else. And it was like cancer. It was like a bad person.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm taking my dad because just in case it kicks off,
and he's there.
We'll sort him out, Dad.
Yeah.
And it was that's the sort of strength.
Amazing.
That's the sort of strength I sort of get it from. It's a strong mentality, I think, and people get it's a big thing, big factor in beating cancer. It's you've got to be strong in the head to do it. You've got to face it, and it was just one of those. I had like my partner saying, "Well, I want to come." You and your dad are sat there just nodding your heads, listening to information and not really listening to it. But I said, "Well, that's not. I know that we're probably missing loads. We should be writing down
for sure." But is it, Laura? Have you got a good left hook?
Yeah. If this cancer bloke walks in, you can sort him out. It was mad. The way of thinking with it. I still look back now and think, it's a sort of a strange sort of feeling towards cancer.
Yeah.
But it was.
That's amazing.
I don't even think he really knew that. He just thought, he wants me to drive again. I'll take you up.
For sure. And he does now.
Yeah, he does now.
And what about the rebuilding process? I suppose, like your operations. Once your operations are over, like what sort of happened there, and how did you rebuild and recover? What were the things that you did to help someone else as they're listening now, and got Cologne and the cancer that you've had, and you're talking about resilience and mental. I totally believe that. I think the mental aspect of just, I used to not identify myself with cancer. I used to just say it wasn't me, and I wasn't going to identify myself with it. But what things do you feel like have really helped your recovery and that sort of rebuilding?
To be honest, with regards to the cancer, like I say, we're all three of us now that have had cancer, all cancer free, brilliant. But there's a lot that goes on after it, even when you've cleared it. Not just mentally. I'm still going through. So a year after I cleared the cancer, I'd had an operation then because I had a stoma bag. So I had an operation to remove the stoma bag. Ended up spending 3 months in hospital. I flatlined. It was a horrific time. I lost 5 stone. It actually was closer to death than the cancer.
Wow. And that was pure the operation aspect of why? It wasn't the cancer aspect.
There was no cancer left.
It was all gone.
But it was obviously I'd had a stoma bag put on when they took, because I had my large colon removed. They put a stoma bag on to while the insides healed.
Okay.
And then so there was always talk of the stoma bag being removed. So a year later, like say I was told, go and have the operation. All the hard work's been done from the original operation, So the hardest thing was we thought we were home free, we were, my partner and my family were sort of celebrating, we beat cancer. It was amazing. It's been, and we found this second part probably harder, but because of the reasons of when you beat cancer and you come out the other end, you feel invincible. Yeah. You do, but this has just set us right back. We haven't been able to celebrate it, so to speak. Not that you go out celebrating.
No, for sure, but just that closure in a sense.
Yeah, that's it, the closure. So, and I'm still going through it now. Funny enough, when I fly back, I've got a test to see if I can have the reversal again. So it's still ongoing with me. Right. It's probably still ongoing with you. With not physically maybe, but you're always going to be worried and thinking things. So this is what hopefully we're going to achieve here.
For sure. Do you still have to? Do you have your CT PET scans like every year still? Like for 5 years? How does it work for you?
I think it's I have one. I think it's a weird. I think it's 8 months. They said to me,
Oh, really?
one every 8 months, not 6 months or a year. So
Okay.
I have got that for the next 5 years. Actually,
5 years, okay.
what am I now? I think I'm nearly a year and a half clear of cancer. So I've had 2 scans.
2 since then.
Yeah, and touch wood.
Yeah.
They say with my sort of cancer that if it don't come back, it normally comes back quite fast in the first sort of 6 months, 6 months to a year. But luckily, touch wood, I'm home free. I actually don't feel like I will get it back. It sounds strange. Again,
that's your resilience.
Again, it is.
Like
I just don't feel I'll ever get it again.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I just wish they'd put me right the other way now with all the other stuff going on. So I will be home free.
Yeah. Oh, amazing, man. So, given from everything you've been through and where you sit now and I suppose stand now, if there was someone listening to this on their own journey and whatever that cancer journey is and wherever they are, what would you, I suppose, what would 1 or 2 key takeaways that you feel that would help them in anything that you experienced?
I think there's a few things that go into that. Like I say, I keep saying the word, I was lucky that you had cancer, but it was sort of like the 2 people I knew that reached out with you and like I say, a girl that had it that I knew. So you guide me through sort of like, the diets and things like that, and the conversation and just talking to someone that was going through this or been through the same thing. And then someone that's had, the exact same cancer as me. Like I said, with the Brave Roots, sort of could network. It's building a network, I suppose, isn't it? And not just for because there's so many different types of cancer, so many people suffering in different ways, and I just think just finding the network for people,
just reaching out or talking about
I even when we're trying to start this now, I try and look online to see if there's anything out there. I can't really find anything. I can't really find, and there's going to be people out there that aren't fortunate enough to have. That sounds terrible again. A friend that's gone through it, but aren't in the position.
Because you mentioned before, I think you mentioned like your best friends, amazing friends, all your childhood, like family. Like this is why I suppose got amazing people who love you and do everything for you. But I find that when people hear you've got cancer, it's really hard for them to digest that and talk to them, because I feel. I was saying this to someone reached out to me the other day through, Brave Roots on a platform, and I just, have a conversation, and I just feel like everyone just feels you've got cancer, you're done. Does that make sense? Not being so harsh, but no matter where you are, it just feels like, and so to talk about that is really hard for just, if you've not experienced that.
It's like you're going to have a disability for the rest of your life, so to speak. It's
well, looking at me, I've had that. but yeah, I know what you mean.
It's just like, you sort of, you're put into a different group of people, I feel. And that's why I felt so, I don't know, my mentality was even better than it's ever been to sort of make sure I wasn't that weaker type of, you're not a weaker person, you're not, are you? Because you go through the biggest battle of anything in your life with cancer. So, I think the one thing about it is we've all come out, I think, much stronger, better people.
For sure.
It'll change.
And it's not like you need 10 people, right? It's like just 1 or 2 people, even know them or don't know them. Obviously, it's just the ability to be able to just talk with no pity, I feel, in the sense of not pity, but
you'll be laying on that, in a hospital bed, or you'll be laying at home, recovering from it, or even years after when you haven't got it anymore, still thinking about it.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's no different when you say about the friends that, that all love and support you, but it's no, like with the medical teams, I don't know, it does put you in a bit of a bubble with someone else that's had cancer, I feel. That you can discuss it with them. And it's a thing to say, I don't think people that have never had cancer will ever get that. Yeah.
So it's just that sharing and that network, just being brave to speak where I wasn't at a time for different reasons.
People are different, aren't they?
For sure.
I say, I generally, I do lock a lot of stuff away. I know I do. And I sort of deal with it, and, I sort of let it fade out into the air, and get rid of it that way. But I'm not saying that's a good way to do it or not. There's a lot of publicity out now that people need to talk more, and you know, not just in cancer terms.
Yeah, just
in, like,
the mental health.
Yeah,
And whatever it is. Yeah.
You know, there's pros and cons for all of it. You know, it's people just got to deal with it how you just to know there's a platform out there. I think.
For sure, yeah, for sure. Okay, well, I just before we close off, I'm gonna ask you a few little quick fire questions. Very simple. I just be interested. Little one word. What comes into your mind straight away?
Some pressure. You tell me about this.
A question of sport. Just to start, a nice easy one. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Sunset. Amazing. One word to describe your journey.
Oof.
You can't have them.
Emotional.
What about a song that got you through these tough moments?
Oh, there was
one song that you can really.
It's Richard Ashcroft with the Chemical Brothers, and it's called "The Test."
The Test.
Yeah, and I don't really think the lyrics were so thing, but just the name of the title. Sort of, I used to listen to it a lot when I was younger.
Oh, so it was from young and okay.
Yeah. And then every single Oasis song known to man as well.
Yeah.
Live forever, obviously.
Live forever. Yeah. Who is your biggest supporter? And I know you've got a very close-knit family. I know, and it's very hard to say.
I couldn't really say. It's
different.
You know, I could. It's obviously my partner. I didn't actually tell my kids that I had cancer.
Okay.
I forgot to mention that earlier. Yeah, but I didn't.
Forgot to mention to them, or you mean to me?
To you? Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't tell the kids. I didn't want them to know. I just.
So how long?
Sorry, my youngest.
Okay.
Because obviously, my oldest would have sort of seen what was going on, but I just told them I was ill. I didn't want them to know until I was better. You know.
So that was when? How long did you?
When I got clear.
So when it was all clear, and then you'd mentioned.
Yeah, and I told.
So your eldest knew.
Eldest knew. I think I told the eldest. Yeah, but the youngest definitely didn't know at all until I sort of said.
She was at 8 then.
She was 8 or 9. Yeah, and I sort of said. At the end that I had cancer and I'd beat it.
She just thought you were ill for some reason. And,
that's why I was worried about losing my hair.
I've been worrying about the last 15 years.
Yeah, well, I was going to start cutting my fringe to there and all and just keep going back. But, no, going back with the support. I think it's all people in different ways. Like I say, that like Laura, my partner, that the food and the love and support with, you know, just the timing of not knowing when I was like not in a good place and whether to speak to me or not.
Yeah.
And then, you know, my mum and dad, their support, my sisters, you know, even though there's, you know, my sister flew back from Australia, just that little bit got me through it, you know. And then obviously, my friends, and then like say yourself though, and the girl I went to school with, just those little bits.
Yeah.
Amazing. You know, you do feel supported when you go through it.
Yeah, amazing. And last one, I suppose. What makes you feel alive today?
My art. I think.
What keeps you driven in terms of like, I suppose
what I've been doing a lot is, obviously, people have probably seen the amount of holidays I've had since.
I know Jude of Chalmers.
Oh God,
I thought I was bad.
But just, I think whenever I got, you know, I've been to really nice places in the last couple of years, but whenever even before cancer, whenever I was going through work stress or things like that, or relationship stress, I'd always go up to the top of Scrinkle and take a big deep breath, and that'd be like a huge medicine for me. And I still do it to this day. Wow. Stand at the top of that cliff, looking down where we grew up.
Yeah, amazing.
Going in the beach, down in the sea every day, and
doing a reliving.
Just doing a big gulp of air, couple of gulps of air, and it's amazing what that does for me.
Wow, amazing. Okay, thank you very much, Phil. It's been very insightful, and I respect what you've done and what you still do, and it's been an amazing journey, obviously, and an experience that, like, even though it could have gone a very different way, just your mindset and your passion to make sure it doesn't. It's been very apparent to me from afar as well, right? So, it's been a pleasure to you know, we grew up together, next door neighbors for all them years, and while, you know, we all go off into our lives, that's like you're talking about Scrinkle, the bond as our childhood friends, growing up and our families so close and stuff. But yeah. Yeah, so to every person, if you feel you're on a journey yourself and wherever you are on that, just stay strong, positivity, and just talk. I think of the big things from us, right? Like just I look back and that wasn't. I look back now how that would have helped me massively. I felt just my own mentality and just do your own research as well, right? Like.
Just know there's people out there, that can help you, and you don't feel you're doing it on your own.
And I think that's why we're trying to do this, right? Is just be a platform
because it does make you feel like you're doing it on your own.
It does,
Cancer makes you feel
lonely,
like you're on your own no matter what.
Yeah, going through all them tests and week or whatever it is, and time again up to Swansea or up to Cardiff and doing a lot of the time here. But okay, well, this has been Brave Talks. Hope you can just follow our journey and subscribe to the channel and stay grounded, stay connected, and be brave.